Are you thinking about starting an LLC in Wyoming? There are a lot of unique benefits to forming a business in the state. Today we're going to cover what those benefits are, what to consider if you're out of state, and finally, what steps and paperwork are required to form a Wyoming LLC. Oh, and at the end we'll cover a bonus tip for how to maintain those unique benefits which most sources don't discuss, as well as some steep discounts for professional services. Let's get into it. Unique Wyoming LLC benefits. You're probably here because you're a Wyoming resident, but you should know that starting a limited liability company in Wyoming does present a range of distinct advantages, especially if you live there. Basically, from favorable tax structures to robust asset protection laws, Wyoming offers a business-friendly environment that fosters growth and innovation and protects privacy. The big two benefits are enhanced asset protection and enhanced privacy. Wyoming is one of 5 states that has what is called charging order of protection for single-member LLCs. It's a mouthful, but here's the gist. Usually you hear about personal assets being protected in case of a lawsuit against an LLC, but charging order of protection means the protection goes both ways. This protects the company against personal lawsuits of the members. You can't be forced to sell the LLC's assets. In other words, the company remains intact in the event of a lawsuit of an individual member. Unlike many other states, Wyoming doesn't mandate the disclosure of members' and managers' identities, providing a cloak of privacy. However, a lot of entrepreneurs in states with these anonymity protections don't take full advantage of it. At this time code, we'll go over what you need to do to actually keep your personal information off of your official filings. Just know that even though Wyoming is very welcoming to businesses forming out of state, we still recommend that you form your LLC in the state where your business is based or where you live. You can avoid a lot of extra expenses and complexities that come with operating across different state jurisdictions. Wyoming's charging order protection laws are limited to Wyoming's jurisdiction. Members residing outside of Wyoming will encounter varying degrees of legal support, or lack thereof, in terms of actions against their LLC assets. Now, with that out of the way, on to the good stuff. How to start an LLC in Wyoming in 6 easy steps. Let's walk you through the process of actually forming a Wyoming LLC. You can do this yourself or use professional services like registered agents, attorneys, or accountants. Actually, 2/3 of our readers hire a Wyoming LLC's formation service. More on the benefits of that later. I promise our readers, they're onto something. In order to form your LLC in Wyoming yourself, there are 6 steps you'll need to complete. Name your LLC, choose a registered agent, file the articles of organization, create an LLC operating agreement, obtain an EIN, and file a beneficial ownership information report. If you happen to be coming from one of our older videos, you may have noticed that we've added an extra step. That's because the Beneficial Ownership Information Report, or BOI, is a new requirement as of 2024. It's worth mentioning since failing to report comes with huge fines. Again, more on that later. Step 1. Name your Wyoming LLC. This is the most fun part, but keep in mind the name you pick should not only serve your general business and marketing goals, but it needs to comply with Wyoming naming requirements. Naming issues are the #1 reason why formations are rejected, so pay attention. First and foremost, check whether your desired name is available in Wyoming. You can perform a business entity search on the Wyoming Secretary of State's website. Keep in mind that your name needs to be reasonably different from all other names. For example, if you want the name Bob's Burgers, but Bob Burgers is already taken, it's too close to claim. If you're not going to start your LLC right away, it might be a good idea to consider reserving your name for up to 120 days by filing an application for reservation of name with the Secretary of State and paying the $60 processing fee. Next to consider is that there are certain things your business name needs to include, and certain things you cannot include in your business name. You can find more information on the government page linked below, but here's the important bullet points. Your name must contain the words Limited Liability Company or one of its abbreviations, such as LLC with periods after each letter, LLC, Limited, Limited Co., and so on. Your name cannot include words or phrases that would make your LLC appear to be a state or federal agency, such as the FBI, State Department, or Treasury. Your name must be distinguishable from any other Wyoming limited liability company, corporation, limited liability partnership, or limited partnership. Some words require additional review in order to be included. Examples include academy, college, institute, or similar words, which those require approval from the Department of Education. And banker, PTC, trust, and similar words will also require approval from the Division of Banking. Step 2. Choose a registered agent in Wyoming. After you find the right name for your LLC, you will need to nominate a Wyoming registered agent. This is a necessary step for your articles of organization. More on that in the next step. A registered agent is an individual or business entity responsible for receiving important legal documents on behalf of your business. You can think of your registered agent as your business's primary point of contact with the state. The registered agent must give your permission to list them and must be a resident of Wyoming or a corporation such as a registered agent service authorized to transact business in Wyoming. You can also choose to elect an individual within the company or use a professional associate such as an accountant or lawyer. You can also be the registered agent for your LLC, but keep in mind you must be available during all working hours. Step 3. Complete and file articles of organization. All right, folks, this is the document that registers your LLC with the Secretary of State. Before filing your articles of organization, make sure you have completed it correctly. You'll need to have filled in the following sections: the name of your LLC, the name and address of your registered agent. This must be a physical address in Wyoming, not a P.O. box. The mailing and principal office address of your LLC, your full name, daytime phone number, email address, and signature, and the completed consent to appointment by registered agent form. To file the articles of organization, you can do this online, by mail, or by fax. We recommend doing it online, but here's the information for where to go and where to mail it. The state filing cost is $100 by mail and $102 if you file online, payable to the Secretary of State. In case you were curious, this fee is not refundable. For help with completing the form, visit our Wyoming Articles of Organization guide. If you're expanding your existing business to the state of Wyoming, you'll need to register as a foreign limited liability company. Step 4. Create your Wyoming LLC operating agreement. An operating agreement is not required for a Wyoming LLC, but it's good practice to have one. An operating agreement outlines the ownership and operating procedures of an LLC. A comprehensive operating agreement ensures that all business owners are on the same page and reduces the risk of future conflict. For more information on operating agreements, read our Wyoming LLC Operating Agreement Guide or check out this video all about operating agreements. We have a template on our site you can use completely free for your LLC. It takes the edge off a somewhat intimidating and stuffy document. Step 5. Get a Wyoming LLC EIN. You can get an Employer Identification Number, or EIN, from the IRS for free. It is used to identify a business entity and keep track of a business's tax reporting. It is essentially a social security number for the company. Apart from its tax purposes, an EIN number will be required to open a business bank account for the company and in order to hire employees for the company. You can do this online or by mail. For detailed information on how to do this, you can check out our tutorial here and linked below. Step 6. File a Beneficial Ownership Information Report. Beginning January 2024, LLC owners will need to file a Beneficial Ownership Information Report, or BOI, with the U.S. Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, or FinCEN. All new LLCs will need to file their report within 90 days of formation. The BOI report contains information meant to identify the true owners of the LLC. There is no charge for filing it, but failure to file on time can result in a $500 per day fine. If you want to know more about BOIs or you want a tutorial on how to fill it out, we've got one of those videos for you as well. Using a service. So we mentioned before that a large majority of our readers and viewers actually end up using a professional service to start their LLC rather than filing it themselves. And there's good reason for that, so let me explain. Earlier we discussed that among the benefits Wyoming offers is its privacy features. Most states require the public listing for a fair amount of personal information when you form an LLC. This means your name, address, and even phone number can be found on easily scrapable government sites, but not Wyoming, if you take advantage of it. Using a service like Northwest Registered Agent in privacy-focused states like Wyoming is part of keeping your personal information off those public records, reducing the all-too-common junk mail and spam call avalanche that pours in after you officially file. Northwest allows you to use their name, address, and phone number when you form your LLC, if you opt for it. Their service is affordable for $29 plus state fees if you file through them, with a free year of registered agent services included. They also manage annual reports like the Big Bad BOI for an extra nominal fee. A BOI report is just $9. Check our special discount link for savings too. We're partnered with Northwest and we may earn a commission, but we genuinely do recommend their service for its value in privacy protection. Maintaining your Wyoming LLC. After you've successfully formed your LLC, there are a couple of steps you'll need to take periodically in order to maintain it. Many new and seasoned entrepreneurs forget these items, so listen up. These include filing an annual report, managing your taxes. LLCs based in Wyoming will need to file an annual report and pay the associated annual license tax in order to remain in good standing. This keeps the Secretary of State's records up to date with key pieces of information regarding your business, such as your LLC's principal address and mailing address, officer and/or director names and addresses, and any assets located in Wyoming. This must be filed with the Secretary of State by the first day of the month in which you formed your LLC, along with a filing fee of $50 or 0.0002% of the value of all LLC assets, whichever is greater. Fees over $500 must be filed by mail at the end of the online process. Easiest way to submit your annual report is online through the Wyoming Secretary of State website. Though Wyoming has no state-level individual or corporate income tax, you will be required to pay certain federal taxes regardless of where your LLC is registered. This includes federal income tax, employer taxes, corporation taxes for LLCs filing as a C corporation, and self-employment taxes for LLCs taxed as a pass-through entity. In addition, there are a number of different taxes you may be required to pay at a local and state level, which can vary depending on the nature of your business. Two common taxes in Wyoming are sales and use tax and property taxes. Resources for those are linked below. And that's it. You now know what it takes to form an LLC in the state of Wyoming. We hope you found this video to be really useful, and if you want more information on forming an LLC, check out all our other resources in the description below. You'll find lots of guides and advice that will help you kickstart your business journey in Wyoming. If you still have questions about LLCs or anything business related, really, hit us up.